Right, Neil. Hi.
Hi.
Great to meet with us.
problem.
Do you want to tell us who you are, what your role in the company is, and then something about the company, please?
Yes, certainly. Well, my name is Neil Boulton. I'm the Commercial Director of Eterniti Caravans, and my role is the marketing of the company, the design of the products, and taking the product forward into the market that the customer wants, the style, the design, the layouts.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things we're doing this year is having discussions with people who are with innovative products, let me call them that, and Eterniti is fair to say is an innovative product.
Certainly, I mean, there are a few systems in the UK where they operate slide-out sides, but the systems that are used are so heavy, and they can't be towed by normal family vehicles. The whole selling point of our slide systems is that they're all lightweight. Therefore, we can go into the mainstream caravan market, and we can be towed by family vehicles.
Were you here last year?
We were here last year. We were here with two concept vehicles. These were two vehicles that we brought over from the States.
Yes.
And they were purely to demonstrate the size and the space that is given when you have a slide outside on a caravan. The purpose of being at the show is to take feedback from the customers, feedback from the consumers, ready for when we went into production with our own models to ensure that we were delivering the items that people wanted.
Yeah, and your production models are out now?
They are indeed, yes. Yes, the models that we've got on the stand are the prototypes which we first built as we were setting up the production line. The production line is now in full swing, and the vehicles are coming off the production line as we speak.
And again, thinking back to last year, did it sort of better expectation? Was it about what you expected? Did you get from the show what you wanted, given where you were at that stage of development?
Certainly in terms of feedback last year, I think it's invaluable. Had we not done the show last year, we would probably only had 60–65% of the product we've got now.
Yeah.
Lots of the features we've got on the vans you wouldn't necessarily as a manufacturer think you should have. Right. But again, it's driven by the public, and at the end of the day, if you provide them something they ask for, and you're guaranteed to have a successful business.
Right. What sorts of things have you actually changed then or built in on customer feedback?
Features such as outside shower points. I know in the past manufacturers have fitted this, but it's been seen more as a gimmick sale, something to attract the customer. I personally wasn't aware that how vital it was for some customers to have this kind of feature. The access into the bathroom, double door access, they like the idea of that, where they put children, if they're covered in sand or anything, straight into the shower keeper instead of being through the vehicle. So there's lots of key points that you, as a manufacturer, you wouldn't necessarily think would sell the vehicle for you, but they're very important in the usage of the vehicle to the customer.
That's certainly something we're hearing increasingly, and I think the internet's had an impact on this, that it's a two-way discussion, where it used to innovate, hope people liked it, but now it's very much about getting that feedback early on.
That's correct, and the beauty for us is because we are a new manufacturer, because we're at the stage where we are setting ourselves up as a company, and also our volume at the moment is relatively small, we can take these comments on board and actually act upon them. Obviously for a larger manufacturer it's more difficult because the production cycles are larger, they're vaster, it's a gamble to change anything, it's a risk to change anything, and sometimes to put a change into production when you're that size of a company could be several months down the line, to which point you've missed the opportunity. So it's a great time for us to do these kind of things.
Do you see the internet as having a key part in your company and your sales moving forward?
The internet's excellent. We fully utilise the internet both in terms of our own website, social media, and also the forums. We interact with customers all the time. It can be quite hard to get people to fill in a questionnaire or to sit down and talk to you, but you find that people are actively on the internet all the time, so they do use the forums to communicate. They will do too many questionnaires that you send on an email. So yeah, it's a vital part of our business.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't the easiest time in terms of the UK economy and in terms of the industry to be breaking in and bringing a new product to market. I mean, how are you finding it? Because we hear mixed things. There's this ghastly staycation thing that you hear, which was meant to really help, but I'm not sure anybody's thought it's had a great impact, and we're in a double-dip recession.
Yes.
What impact are you finding that's having?
Well, firstly, there's always business. Business may drop, business may rise, but there is always business. And I'm a big believer that as long as you've got the right product, you'll always be selling. You'll always have a business that can move forward. So I think it's about, in difficult times, it's about moving with the market and acting upon what's required at the time, rather than sitting on your laurels and standing still. On the other side of things, where there's a recession, yes, it does affect people spending money, and it does affect people going on holiday. But I think people take a view of buying a caravan and utilising a caravan in the UK. I think that they see that as a safer option. It's not dead money of the purchase. You spend £4,000 to go on a holiday abroad, it's £4,000 gone. If you spend £5, £6 or £24,000 on a caravan in the UK, you've got something to show at the end of it. You've got something to carry on using. It's something there that you're buying. It's almost like having an asset, if you like. So it's seen as a different purchase. So yeah, recessions are not always bad news, certainly not for the leisure industry.
No, absolutely. I mean, and it's something that we also often hear on forums, and I know forums aren't necessarily indicative of the wider public, but it's a valid and important opinion in its own way. And you do hear people saying it's nothing to compare with German vans. German vans, they can swim the channel, they can helicopter, they can do all sorts of amazing...
You do always get the German comments, and I think whether that's about cars or whether it's about caravans, and it's a fair point in some instances. Some of the German manufacturers do build very, very, very strong, very good quality products. I think if you look at some of the checks and some of the requirements we have in place in the UK in the leisure industry, they're far stringent than what were in the European markets at the time. And I don't think as an industry we actually highlight these facts enough. We put greater checks in place than what was in Europe. Obviously now everything's become type approvable, so we should all be put on a level playing field, and the product should all be to the same standard.
Would you look to expand into Europe yourself? Because I mean, I sometimes think that we don't promote the English product enough in the continental market, when, as you say, we're producing some very good vans over here.
It's certainly something as a company that we're looking at very, very seriously at the moment, and half the reason for that is the interest that's coming to Eterniti. Years gone by, slide-out caravans were part of the European caravan market, and they were very successful. Currently there is nobody producing slide-out sides. Since Eterniti has launched with the product that we've got now, the Genesis and the Chronicle, we're having strong interest from Europe and further afield also, it's worth mentioning. So yes, it's something that we're currently looking at, and it would be wonderful to move into Europe, but I think the most important thing for us as a company at the moment is that we serve our UK audience. We provide them with a product that they want, to a standard that they want, and once we've got that correct, then yes, we'll look to move further afield.
Sure. I mean, something that we're hearing that I think everybody can agree about is in terms of the future in caravanning, lighter has got to be the way forward, because tow cars are getting lighter, fuel economy is more important than it's ever been, and let's face it, it's not going to get any better. It's going to only get worse in terms of fuel prices and what have you. How as a company are you looking in interesting ways to deal with that issue? Because it may mean that people get less facility.
No, that's true. That's true. Obviously, if you're going to lose weight, then two things need to happen. You either lose construction, build quality, or you lose specification and components. It is a key aspect of the industry, and it is something that's brought up regularly. But at the same time, there are consumers and customers out there that are not worried by weights. There is the customer that owns a large 4x4 and wants space, wants specification, and weight is really not an issue. So we are actually dealing with two types of customers all the time, and I think it's fair to say that when you go to the market that's not so worried by weights, it is what we call the top end of the pyramid. It's a smaller section of the market, but let's not forget that these people need to be served with a product as well. Yeah. So yeah, certainly here, I mean, if you look at the two ranges that we've got with the Genesis, it is at the top end of the weights, but it's at the top end of the specification, the size, etc. And that is for the customer that's not too wary about weights. And then we've got the Chronicle range, which is coming in at a lighter weight, and we are looking every single day at bringing that weight down further and further and further. And we're hoping for next season to bring another range of Eterniti caravans out on a slightly lower specification basis, which will be much lighter again. So again, I think it's very important to look at both sectors of the market to make sure all customers are covered.
I think that's right, because I think what people often say and what we hear that is recession proof are the people who are well off, who don't have to worry about those things, and they've still got needs, so you've still got to meet those needs. Any new developments in the pipeline you can share with us?
There's two very, very big projects on the go at Eterniti. I'm not in a position to talk about them at the moment. I mean, all I will say is that for anybody that does follow us and keeps track of Eterniti is to keep looking on the internet for us, follow the website, follow the forums that run on our newsletter, and the news will be read through. But yes, there are two very big projects currently on the way with Eterniti, which hopefully with the timescales met will come forward for the new season next year.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all. Thank you. Cheers.